give it a go. Let's give it a go. Let's see. She's being good. She's being good. Welcome back to the podcast, everybody. Yeah, what's up? How's it going? I haven't done a podcast in so long, I forgot how to do it. Anyways, we got Hannah here with us, so if you're just listening, you might hear some baby squeaks. Let's see if she has anything to say. There's a little squeak. Got Brandy here with us, so we can discuss all the things baby. She's 5 weeks old today.
Yep.
5 weeks today, which, anyways, I'll get into that later. But anyways, yeah, so we're going to talk about the first 5 weeks with little Hannah Banana. We'll talk to Brandy, mom, my lovely wife, baby mama, get her take on things. I'm excited. I think it's going to be fun. How's it going, Brandy?
Good.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
Are you glad to have your body back to yourself and well, you don't really have it back to yourself because she's still really, attached to you like 24/7.
But that's okay.
Hi, Zeri.
I am feeling much better, so
yeah,
feeling good.
Let's take a step back. Did you listen to the podcast that I did with Alex talking about the birth story? And is there anything that you want to correct or explain further?
I mean, you explained it pretty well. It was pretty uneventful.
It really was.
Part.
It was pretty smooth sailing. No big deal. The more eventful side of things was just like the unfortunate issues that they had, like giving you IVs and just the complications with that.
That was the worst. That was way worse than any contraction, giving birth. Like all of that was nothing compared to how bad the IV hurt. And I'm not even being dramatic.
I know, and your arm was bruised up for
2 weeks.
Yeah.
My entire forearm was like black and blue. So, yeah, she screwed up my IV pretty bad. But thankfully, the nurse the next day fixed it. And it was like
Carla to the rescue.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the birth was great. I was actually pretty worried about it just because my pregnancy was so hard on me that I was sure the birth was going to be just as hard. And it was actually the easiest birth and recovery I think I've ever had.
It happened so quick.
Yeah.
Like 6 to 8 minutes from first push to baby.
It was 5 pushes.
Yeah.
She was out. So
like a champ.
I was
Brandy don't mess around.
So easy. Yeah. I was like, dang, okay.
Yeah. And isn't it funny how like nonchalant they are? Like they just walk in the room. They're like, you just want to try giving a little push. And
that's good. That makes me feel so much more comfortable.
Oh God, this is happening. Well, it got real when they push the cart in. It has like all the stuff on it.
Well, all the tools and all the things for like
you're like, oh, this is about to go down.
Yeah. But yeah, I like how nonchalant they are, though. It makes it's not at all what you watch in like movies or even some of like reality TV shows on births and stuff. Like I remember watching those before I had Cameron and just being surprised how shocked or being, where's my brain? Being so surprised at how like calm everything is and quiet and
you think
chill.
it'd be like this chaotic experience, but
well, we were the only ones in the hospital or on that floor too. I think when I gave birth, so that made it. Everyone would just come in and like see how it's going, and it was just everybody was awesome. It was great.
You know what was really cool was that moment that your mom and the doctor had. So doctor that delivered the baby is the same doctor that removed some cancer from Brandy's mom.
Yeah, the tumor.
It's like 20 years ago, probably.
See, how old am I? Yeah, like 20 years ago.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So it was kind of cool because they had a moment. She's like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was really cool. I had no idea until the day before I gave birth because I knew which doctor was going to be delivering. And my mom was like, oh, is that this doctor? I was like, I don't know. I've never even met her. I'd never met the doctor that delivered.
Doctor,
yeah. But anyway, it was pretty cool. They had a moment and there were a few tears and it was pretty cool because she basically removed the tumor so well that she got all of the cancer, and my mom ended up never having to have any kind of radiation, chemo, nothing. Because she did like such an amazing job at removing the cancer.
Yeah.
So
it's really cool.
Pretty cool. Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
And brought us a new one while she was at it.
Yeah.
Cool. So let's talk about the first 5 weeks. Let's go week by week if we can remember. And then I want to talk about some of the stuff that we have and like some of the baby items that we hate or love.
Yes.
And maybe give some insight there on some people, for some people with newborns. So week 1, here's what I remember from week 1.
Okay.
Not a lot of sleep, a lot of trying to figure out schedules. And you know what? That's not true. I feel like I got more sleep the first week because like newborns, the first like week, I mean, they just sleep like 16 hours a day. Like they just sleep. So you're like,
Yeah.
this is a piece of cake. Aside from you were getting up to feed her every,
Well, the
2 hours
first
or
couple
so.
nights were, well, the first night was chaotic only because we didn't have things as organized as maybe we thought, because every baby's different. So we thought she would like this swaddle and that passy, and she didn't. So we'd have to like scrounge
Sort through
around
that.
and find a different swaddle or a different passy or whatever. And, but we swaddled her the same they did in the hospital for the first few days. Well, you did.
I like to think I'm the
And
swaddle master.
You are. And she slept so well. And then it like flip flopped and it was like,
Well, she is
Really rough.
squirmy. If you're watching this on YouTube right now and you can see her, she's just like very squirmy. She's just constantly moving. I feel like more so than the other kids, but
I
it's
don't
hard
know.
for me to remember. But
yeah.
she doesn't sit still. Like when she's sitting still, she's not sitting still. She's
Yeah.
moving her arms and her legs and just having funky reflexes. It's really funny. Anyways, but that's I think comes a lot with the swaddle situation where it's like try to wrap them up tight, keeps their arms down. They're not scratching their faces. They're not just like waking themselves up because they just punched themselves in the face or something because they're just like crazy. They're not knocking out pacifiers, which she's not really big on pacifiers. Like you have to really kind of force it on her to get her to like chill sometimes, where
She does like that passy though.
yeah, this
We'll
is
talk about
we'll talk about it.
the
Yeah.
ones we like, but yeah, the first week was just like figuring things out, and then by the second week, I ended up on
The faces she's making.
sleeping on the recliner. That's when that started, I think, because she stopped wanting to be in the bassinet.
Right. The bassinet. That's right.
Mhm.
So we have it was a Halo, right? Bassinet
The
that
swivel or something.
that Alex let us use because he's had 4 kids in the
Yeah.
last few years and had that. So he's like, here, use this, which was nice. But she was like, the bassinet wasn't a
Yeah,
good solution
she was
for
not
her.
into it.
Not into
So
it. I
the
don't know if she
only
was
way.
uncomfortable or what the
Yeah,
deal was.
I don't know. I feel like sometimes it seemed like it was tilted, and she'd end up on one end of the bassinet, and because she's so squirmy, I don't know. She didn't like it after the second week, really, and then I ended up on the
You'd
recliner.
go out to nurse her, and then you would just sleep out there with her
Well,
on your chest.
because I
It's the only
started.
way we could get her
Well,
to
I was
sleep.
nursing her in our bedroom the first like week, and then I realized how uncomfortable. Like I was just so uncomfortable because the sheets would move, the blankets, like all the pillows, like it was just like uncomfortable for me. And then so I decided to move to the recliner, and then it was just easy to like lay back with her on my chest, burp her, and then she'd fall asleep like that. And so that's kind of how we still do that a little bit. But thankfully, this past week, we've kind of figured out
a good routine.
good
rhythm.
routine.
Yeah.
We've started
What
trying to
products
do
are working.
routines. Yeah. And it's worked. Like last night, she slept 5 hours in the crib, and then I fed her, and then she slept for another 3, which is like
Yeah, that's probably our best night ever.
amazing. Yeah.
I woke up this morning. I don't think I ever woke up at all. Hello. Do you want to? Let's see if this will keep you quiet. Yeah, I got great night of sleep last night. I feel refreshed, which is good
Yeah.
because yesterday was a very long day for me. A lot going on, but yeah. So that was the first couple weeks, and so I guess really till now. So let's talk about like sort of through some of those weeks, just like home life, adapting to a new baby again, what that's been like, trying to like the things around the house that just pile up and don't get done because there's just no time.
Like
our bathroom, laundry, things like that you're just like,
Yeah.
wow, we'll get to that. Dishes, you're like,
Well, I've been pretty good about dishes.
You have been good. Like at
laundry, I haven't. I've been trying to catch up on that, but she'll let me do dishes every now and then. So that's
it's
good.
probably not as bad for a family that's like their first child in terms like you don't have as much of that piling up versus us with 2 other kids who are 7 and 10, where Kendall's changing outfits 3 times a day. She just throws them on the floor. We're cooking for 4 people. So there's like more dishes, more this, more that. So if it's your first child, you're probably less likely to have to. I don't remember that being such an issue previously.
Yeah, I don't think so. I mean,
now it's
you
like,
have 2
good
extra.
luck.
Yeah.
It's hard.
Yeah,
It's
it's
tough.
rough. And then for me, it's been hard. Like I can't commit to anything before noon right now. Like, and I'm someone who's I'm like up at the crack of dawn and like out the door like ready to go. I'm always early to everything. But now, I mean, I'm lucky if I get somewhere on time. Like if I have somewhere to be. It's kind of
I can't believe you're here.
I know. I
Only
don't
'cause
know
I
how
like-
I got here on time. Well, you were there most of the morning, so you were able to hold her, which is good.
Yeah.
Because she needs to be held.
And I had to
lot.
force you to keep going. So this is one of your faults, and you know this, because she'll be like, I've got to get this thing. I need you to hold the baby so I can brush my teeth because I've got a doctor's or whatever it is. And then she'll stand there for like 15 minutes staring at the baby. And she's like, but she's so cute. I'm like, this is why you can't get anywhere. Stop. Go take your shower. Go do your hair, whatever it is you got to do. And then she'll come back out and just like stare at the baby and be like, look at what I'm like, I can see what she's doing. Stop staring at her. Keep moving. Let's go.
I think that's how I ended up on the recliner sleeping because she's just so cute and cuddly that I'm just like, I'll just lay back and cuddle with her and then we fall asleep. And then she
Creates
got
bad
used.
habits.
Yeah. And then she turned, I'm creating a monster, but we're fixing that.
Brandy's good at creating monsters.
Yeah.
The girls have done a good job. You know, the first.
Yeah, they are helpful.
Kendall had a couple of those moments.
She doesn't want it.
She's mad.
Here.
Kendall had a few of those moments where she didn't want the baby around. Because we were having to spend so much time. Let's see. I'll just switch her. We were spending so much time with the baby, and the baby got all the attention. It was like, hold on, I've got to finish doing this with the baby. So like they got pushed off of whatever it was that they wanted help with or attention for because the baby. So she had a few months, but now I think they totally get it. They've been super helpful.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like if I need to do something, I'll just ask Cameron to hold the baby and she will until the baby throws up on her or spits up. Then she hands it right back.
Like,
she will not hold the baby if she spits up. So I have to, make sure I burp her before I hand her to Cameron. But Kendall will sit and hold her. So yeah, they
Cameron's
are a big
great
help.
because there's times where it's like, hey, can you keep an eye on the baby? And she'll start fussing, and then Cameron will pick her up and go change her diaper and do all these things. And
Cameron will go get her out of the crib if she's crying and change her diaper.
So that's been cool.
It's been awesome.
I didn't expect that, especially because when I would tease her about it before, I was like, you're going to be changing poopy diapers. She's like, no, I'm not. And now she's like in there getting it done.
Yeah.
So I'm proud of her. She's doing a great job.
Yeah, she's a big help. I don't know. I don't know how I would do anything without her and Kendall right now. Yep. So it's awesome.
Cool. All right. So we hit on this pacifier. We talked about Swaddles. There's some things that there's a lot of it's trial and error because you can't take the advice of one person to say, this is the best pacifier, this is the best swaddler, this is the best crib or this or that or sound machine, all these different things because it's so individual. It's so what makes them comfortable versus what some, whatever. So we've tried a bunch of different things. Let's talk about them. Swaddles, I think, is the biggest number one thing.
We just found a good one.
We found one that we think is good.
It's worked
so far. Like it wasn't a disaster, and last night was great. So there's that. We'll talk about that one in a second. But I personally am a fan of like old school, like grab the blanket, wrap her up like a burrito, swaddle like old school. Nowadays there's all these sleep sacks and swaddles with Velcro and zippers and all these things. I hate them. I think they're complicated. Some of them are. Some of them are very simple and intuitive. I prefer to just wrap her up. Like the ones that have the Velcro, those things suck.
Yeah. Well, we used those with Cameron, though.
Not a fan. It's so difficult, and you're trying to unwrap them.
Well, they're loud, and some of them are so hard to pull.
It's very difficult to get them undone in the middle of the night or fix them when they're like whatever the case is. Because some of these little babies are like stinking Houdini, and they're like getting their arms out of there, and then they're pissed off because they can't get it the rest of the way. Some kids seem to want to have their arms up, some want their arms down. So now they make
her arms up.
Swaddles that accommodate both ways. We tried the Halo sleep sack. Is that what it's called?
She did not like that.
Did not like it. I wasn't really fan. That one has crazy Velcro.
Well, she was able to get her hands out too, with that one.
Yeah, because it was like the flaps are so long, you can't really wrap it tight. It was I was not a fan.
She's getting.
Hey now. Oh yeah. It's okay. Here, try this. I don't have the big soft chest.
I'll hold her.
I got this, yo.
Well, I want to hold her.
You can hold her in a minute. I'll share. It's funny because when I have the baby, Brandy hovers over me like I don't know what I'm doing, and she's like, "Oh, be careful with this. Be careful." I'm like, "Brandy, stop, go."
Yeah,
finish."
but
Okay, here's mommy. So the Halo sleep sack. What were some of the other ones that we tried and played with? Do you remember?
Just some basic ones from Amazon. Maybe the Aiden and Anais. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right.
My issue with some of those beyond the Velcro and the zippers is it's like the legs are all like usually big open things, so they still are kicking their legs around inside, and that to me is something that's causing a distraction for them, and it's waking them up or whatever the case is. Versus like you don't give them a chance, you like bundle them up like this little burrito, and they can't move so much and flare around and do all that kind of stuff.
The reason we stopped doing that is because I can't do that very well. Like I'm not a good swaddler. So in the middle of the night, I didn't want to have to wake you up when she was waking up every 2 hours for a while. I didn't want to wake you up and have you have to do that
re-swaddle
when
her.
I was already up. So there's no reason to wake you up.
Yeah. So we were trying to find something that you could use that would help, but we didn't find that thing until what was this one called?
The Love to Dream.
It's hilarious.
And it's a really goofy looking one, but
because
it works.
It looks when she's in it, she looks like a flying squirrel. It's like she looks like what are those suits, Trav? The like the wingsuits, yeah, like base jumping wingsuits. It's funny because the way it positions their arms is like this. It's like their hands go up sort of parallel to their ears in the shape of this thing, and then it's really tight on their body, and then it kind of flares back out for their legs.
And she'll like try to swat her passy with her little nubs.
So she's like, got these, it's so funny. And she's always like strong arming something. Like she's always got these tight, tense arms. Like when you're trying to dress her. Yeah, right now she's probably clenched on. When you're trying to dress her, when she's sleeping, she's like always got a... And she's chill.
And
she's
not just when
like
she's
fussy.
hungry. She does do that when she's hungry, but
like
she'll do it. Like right now, she's not hungry. I know that.
Maybe I forgot, but when they clench their hands like that and they're pissed off, it's like they're hungry. But when they're not hungry or they're full or whatever, like their hands tend to relax.
Yeah, they're more relaxed.
But her arms are always tense. So, anyways, it's been interesting the last few nights with this new thing that I just laughed at. I was like, "You look like a flying squirrel in this suit."
But she's put herself back to sleep. Like last night. Normally after the first feeding at night, I'll just sleep with her on the recliner for the rest of the night. With her on my chest, just like kind of for a couple hours. And the last couple nights, she's been so squirmy after I feed her. So it's almost like she wants to be back in the swaddle in the crib.
Right.
So I'm like, okay. And the last 2 nights I've done it. And she's, fussed for, like last night, she was probably up for at least 30 minutes in the crib. Just squirming around after I put her back in it, like around 4. And she just put herself back to sleep. And she never did that. No. I mean, I know she's only 5 weeks old, but I mean, the past 4 weeks have not been like that.
We're starting to figure things out, what works for her. And it's been a trial and error again, like same with the pacifiers, right? Like there's some pacifiers she had nothing to do with, whether it was the shape or how, like a lot of the differences in pacifiers are like how tight the little nipple is or how, what do you call it? Fit firm the nipple is. Some of them are harder, some of them are softer. And she didn't want nothing to do with some of them. And we tried some different things. Brandy saw this one. Where'd you find this? Like an Instagram ad or influencer or something?
Yeah, something. And then I looked it up on Amazon and it had really like I might be making this number up, but I thought it was like 15,000 like 5-star reviews or something.
This is the bibs.
The bibs.
It's cool.
And she likes them. They're expensive. They're more expensive probably than any other pacifier. They're I think like $15 for 2, Jeez. Which is a lot for a pacifier. Because typically they're probably about half that,
but it shut her up.
It did.
That's worth $15.
And she does like the hospital ones, the Advent, I think.
The round.
Yeah, she'll take
blue
those.
Or pink.
But she likes those the most. Yeah. So I need to order more.
I think this one is the softest of all of them. I've noticed like the backup one that I have in my diaper bag is way firmer. Like she can't just.
Can I have that actually?
Yeah. So I wonder if that has something to do with it, or if it's the material. Like those other ones are more of a silicone. That nipple seems like it's a different type of material. Anyways, that's been a thing.
Yeah.
We've been through sound machines. We've tried some different sound machines.
We have the Hatch. Well, I got the Hatch.
Which one is that? That's the one that you have next to the bed?
Yeah, well, we have 2 now.
News to me.
There's one in the baby's room now, too.
Oh, that's a Hatch. It's a different Hatch, though.
Yeah, it's the Hatch. I don't know. Ours is the Hatch Restore. I got the big one for our room because I assumed the baby was going to be in our room for a while, like a few months. And anyway, I am attached to it now. I can't sleep without it.
Brandy needs the sound machine now. She's got Rainforest playing in the background.
I never turn it off, actually. Yeah,
and she'll be yelling at me from the kitchen. I'm like, what? She's like, just that. I'm like, I can't hear you over your sound machine. I should turn this thing off.
I know. So I couldn't.
I need to be trained on that thing. I don't know how to use it. You've been on it like a ninja. Yeah, I know. That's the problem with this crap. There's I can appreciate the technology and the app and the different capabilities and being able to like check in on things and all that kind of stuff. But can I just get some buttons? Like manual, analog. Like I just want to press a button and turn it on and press a button and turn it off and press a button to turn it up and down.
You can't turn it on and off. You just press the top. Huh? You haven't asked how to turn it off. You've just
I just want to throw it against the wall.
So
there's no buttons on it.
There sure is on the top.
Anyways, I figured out the one in her room has a bunch of buttons on the bottom.
Does, yeah.
I found those. Otherwise, it's like you got to have an app. Again, I can appreciate that stuff. I love technology and all that gear, like gadgets and things. But there's a point where you're in the middle of the night. If you need to make a quick, easy change to it, like I'm not trying to fumble. I left my phone in the other room. Now I've got to go get my phone to change the sound or to turn it up or to turn it down or this light's too bright it's frustrating at 3 a.m. to have to fumble through an app to do the thing when you just like baby screaming her face off. I just want to be able to manipulate it.
So you don't have to fuss with that.
It's fine. Trav can agree with me on this one. Like,
yeah.
Let's talk to Travis about electric cars.
No,
dude, you need a Tesla. It does everything for you.
Yeah, let me tell you how that's going to work out for a lot of people.
Travis is the most like old school analog nomad.
Yeah,
just like,
well, again,
give me a stick.
Yeah, I'm like you. I mean, I can appreciate it, but a lot of technology just makes people lazy.
Yeah,
they're just will do it for you, so you don't have to worry about it. But then nobody worries about anything anymore.
Right.
So then it's creating more problems than it's really solving.
It's so frustrating.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Well, that's how I feel about the lights in the house. I can't figure out how to turn a light on half the time.
I love the thought and the idea of like smart home technology, and I put some stuff in our house and light switches and things that automatically turn on and off.
Ooh, they make me mad
at certain times. Like all of our outside lights automatically turn off, like things that you could put on other timers, but we have so many different switches for it. It was easy to like link them all together through an app and at whatever time.
How many times have I like texted you?
There was some weird bugs, and I think after all the updates I did, everything we haven't really. Yeah,
they haven't been crazy lately, but for a while,
and they're tied in with like the Nest cameras. So if the Nest cameras see a person moving, it turns on lights, and like there's a lot of neat features to it that I think have a lot of practicality. And maybe some of it when I first installed it was like early in its phase and had like some learning and growing to do and updates, and it hasn't been any problems recently. Yeah. I do know for a fact that there's a few things that like don't work properly, but everything still works properly, and as far as you're concerned. But we did a bunch of stuff in the office too. And I get it. There's a lot of security features and stuff we have that's associated with that, but it's like it's just frustrating because like there's an update now. This switch doesn't work, and now this doesn't work, or whatever. And it's like always something. It's constant maintenance versus like just give me a stinking light switch. I'll turn the light on and off myself. And to Travis's point, it's made you lazy because now you don't have to walk around the house to turn off the lights. You just like, hey Siri, turn off the lights, and it turns off all the lights, or whatever. No, shut up, Siri, go away.
Well, there was when one day you guys were, out of town for whatever, and I was at the house, and I thought you were messing with me because every time I was just like sitting on the couch watching TV, and I would like go get water from the sink and just fill up my water, and all the lights in the house would turn on. Every single light would turn on every time, and I'm just like trying to just sit and watch TV at 9:00 at night, and I'd have to text you like,
what are you doing?
Why stop messing with me? Like I just turned all these off, and you're like, oh no, it's the camera sees you moving, so it just turns everything on. And I'm like, well, can you turn that off?
Yeah.
Like,
well, and that's the problem, and that was why she got frustrated too. And I realized that was one of the like settings I end up just having to turn off and change. But it uses my GPS location to know if I'm home or not. And it knew that I wasn't there, but then it saw people on the camera. So it was like, freak out, turn on the lights, you know?
Intruder.
Yeah. Attack. But so I ended up having to like turn that feature off because it was the same thing. I'd be here all day. My phone's away from the house. She didn't have all the apps because she was like, I'm not messing with this crap.
Right.
And I tried to put it on her phone and, no updates later, blah, blah, blah. But then it was like same thing. She'd be home and lights are turning on and off and stupid stuff. And I was like, all right, I got to turn that feature off.
Yeah.
But anyways,
it's like seemingly helpful, but then it just causes more problems.
And I think that's a lot of technology is like, it's just like these like selling features that seem flashy and fancy. And you're like, oh, I can't live without that. I have to have it. Right. So you get the new iPhone and you get the smart home switches so you don't have to actually go turn on the switch and it does it for you. And man, screw all that.
Nope.
Like, and it goes, you know what? It's really funny because this is the same battle I have with myself internally about being like a prepper versus being like a minimalist, where it's like I want to have everything, but then at the same time, like just give me the bare necessities.
Right.
It's very
I feel
similar,
like that sometimes too.
right?
I could go either way.
Yeah. Like I would love to have all the technology and all the cool gadgets and all the things, but then I'm just like, screw that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So sound machines and back on the road here. Sound machines. So we have 2 hatches. We've got the shusher.
Yeah, that works sometimes. I don't know.
Yeah,
if it does
it's been
anything.
sort of hit or miss. The shusher is like this round thing that kind of looks like a missile or a bomb in the shape of it. It's like round top and then it gets narrow.
Orange and white.
It's orange and white. It's round. You have to like turn it to turn it on, and it just makes these like shh. It's like
I do notice
shushing the
when I
baby.
shush her, she does calm down.
Yeah.
So I think it does work sometimes, but just like anything, if she's pissed off enough, it's not going to work.
Yeah. So that thing's good. It's a good, easy thing to like travel with and throw in your diaper bag and take places because it's like super
Yeah,
small.
you just stick it. I just stick
like
it on her lap in the stroller or car seat.
Yeah. Super small. It's got batteries. You don't have to plug it in or any of that kind of stuff. The hatches, though, you've been happy with the hatches. The newest hatch, I
don't know. I mean, it's just a sound
been-
machine, in my opinion. Like, it doesn't seem like it's.
Alex swears
I
by it.
haven't messed around on the app that much. I know you said I really haven't. I've just set the light and I don't even know the settings I set. I don't even really understand how I did that. So I just leave it on rainforest all the time. And that's all I use on it. So really, any sound machine probably would be fine. I'm sure the hatch is cool, but I haven't fussed around with it enough to know.
Well, you probably only bought it because it was cute.
It is cute. It doesn't look ugly. Like, it looks nice. So
That one. The other one is more.
and
of
you can do an alarm on it, which we had for a while when the kids were still in school.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's cool. And it has like a meditation app with it. Like you can, sit and
Vibe
meditate.
out.
Yeah, vibe out.
Get
But
your
hers, I think, is
crystals.
just hers is just like lights and sound, I think.
And it looks more like an appliance in that regard, because the one that's in her room has a LED light in it, and then it's like a big dome, so the whole thing lights up, and then it's got the speaker thing at the bottom, so it looks like a thing.
And I mean, I've used it the last 2 nights with her, and she slept really well.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
I don't know. Maybe it really is. I mean, I think hasn't been enough time to know if it's really making a difference. But I like it because I can see at night when I go to get her out of the crib, because I don't like turning all the lights on.
No, heck no.
And last night when she was getting fussy, I did turn the fan off and the lights in her room. So I don't think that's the way to go.
They need to be on.
Yeah.
Okay. Noted.
Yeah.
Noted.
And we can talk about the routine we've started at night, which helps.
Go for it.
We just
Feed her and put her to bed.
yeah. Yeah, but you've been doing it so that she like warms up to you more, because she gets pretty fussy
One
at night.
thing that we started doing recently, now that it's been 4 or 5 weeks, is Brandy's been pumping, so we've been able to make a bottle and bottle feed her, and we didn't want to do that early. We want to make sure that she didn't not want to
breastfeed
breastfeed,
too.
so
Yeah.
we didn't give her a bottle initially. but she's been pumping and things like that. So we're able to make bottles so I can feed her at night, frees up Brandy to kind of like take a break or whatever. It'll be nice because there'll be times where we'll be able to transition, let the kids feed her and that kind of stuff too.
And she takes the bottle great, like and goes right back to the breast, no problem. Like it hasn't been an issue. And we use the Advent bottles in case. That's what we used with Kendall too, and she was fine with breastfeeding and bottle feeding too. So
yeah. So anyways, we've been trying to keep her awake for probably 45 minutes to an hour before we feed her to make sure she's got this time to be awake and she's sort of stimulated and whatever. And then I feed her, and she's usually up for maybe 20 or 30 minutes after that. I'm burping her and that kind of thing. And then she starts to sort of get heavy-eyed and sleepy, and I go stick her in the crib in her little wingsuit after I change her diaper. And I just kind of hang out in there for a minute and sort of, I tend to put my hand on her chest and on her belly and just kind of give a little bit of weight and pressure. She knows I'm there, and she kind of just relaxes and kind of dozes off. And she bats the pacifier out with her little nubs a couple times. But yeah, that's been working pretty well for now.
We've been doing that this whole week, and it's worked even before we started using that swaddle. So I think it's working.
Let's talk about the stroller stuff for a minute, because that was a big video. A big video I made was, sort of the first impressions of the stroller, and I said I'd make a follow-up video talking about, after using it for a while. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, so we got the Nuna Pippa Light car seat, the Nuna Demi Grow stroller, we got the bassinet, we got stand, we got all this crap, this whole system.
We've used it all too, except for the toddler seat, obviously.
We have not used the toddler seat, that's true. But it's been great. We've been using it exactly how we thought we would. We've taken the bassinet to the pool. We've taken the bassinet on the boat. We've done all those things. It's been a really good system. I don't know that I have, aside from like maybe one negative, which is just like some of the geometry of the folding of the car seat, which is it folds.
The car seat or the stroller?
I'm sorry, the stroller. It folds really well, but I don't like that when it's folded and you slide it into the car, the leather handle is like dragging on the ground. So eventually that thing's going to be destroyed.
I haven't even noticed that. But I like how light it is. I can just throw it in the back of my car easily. The only thing I don't like is there's not like a cup holder. But do strollers typically... I feel like the stroller we had before had cup holders and stuff, like with the other kids.
Yeah,
I've just noticed that every time
we had that jogger stroller that had the 2 cup holders and the speaker in the middle.
So that's what I wish it had was a cup
I'm working
holder.
on something. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Shh. Top secret.
Well, chop.
Okay.
I need a cup holder.
Okay. Yeah. We'll have to test some prototypes. Working on it.
Because I'm always like setting my drink like on her lap, which is sketchy. So that's
You're blazing hot coffee, right?
Yeah.
No, just kidding.
No.
Like a bottle of water or something. Yeah, so the stroller system's been great. Thank God the car seat's as light as it is, because she was she's a hefty baby.
Yeah.
What did she weigh last time at the doctor a couple weeks ago?
9 pounds, 8 ounces or something.
Right.
Or 6 ounces.
She was born at 8 pounds, 13 ounces. She lost a pound.
A pound, yeah. So
and now she's back up, but like, man, dad arm is like really getting
She's heavy. Like she's got to be over 10 pounds now.
Yeah, and you put her in that car seat. Like, I remember the other day, you were like, "Oh my God, like, can you please carry this because this thing's heavy?" And I was like, "Yeah, I got this." I was like, "Geez, this thing's heavy."
Yeah, she's pretty heavy.
I'm happy that we have the lightweight car seat, because if you added another 4 or 5 pounds to that car seat, or 2 or 3 pounds even, I mean, that's good thing I go to the gym. Psych. It's not true. I have been to the gym a handful of times recently. Not even a handful, like 2 or 3 in the last few weeks. Which feels really good to get back in there, because I was starting to feel like kind of a fat slob. But yeah, man, heavy babies. And then, at night where I'm like having to walk around the house because she won't let you sit. Same thing Cameron did. Won't let you sit down. It's just like you got to walk around the house. You got to bounce her, and now you have to learn to do. I forgot that you have to do, like, everything you have to do is like one-handed. You know what I mean? And I'm not. And these are times where it's not like real practical to like put on the baby carrier and all these different things, because she's already a little fussy.
And that would just piss her off more.
It'll just piss her off more, I think. She's been in the baby carrier a few times. I really haven't used the baby carrier because we don't really recommend it until about 2 months, the baby carrier. So, but I've put it in a few times. And and it's been mixed emotions from her, whether she's into it or not. She just doesn't tend to like me holding her as much anyways.
Yeah.
Like that's just been a thing where I'm
Yeah.
like, I can't make her happy. Like take her back.
Yeah. Like last night, I think my bath lasted 5 minutes.
Yeah. I was
Before
like,
you
oh
walked
yeah, I'll
in.
hold her. We'll hang out. We'll sit on the couch. I'll watch some YouTube videos or something.
And I just fed her, so she wasn't hungry.
She wasn't hungry. Her diaper was clean. I tried holding her in 50 different positions, walking around like she wasn't having none of it. I give her back to Brandy, and she's like,
Yeah, she
chill.
fell right asleep.
Just like this. Like she was
Yeah.
starting to get fussy with me, and now I just, we don't have the same attributes. For
Well,
her.
it's okay because the other girls think you're cooler than me anyway. So at least one of them thinks I'm cooler.
Damn right. We might have like a mama's girl.
That would be nice.
We got a couple of daddy's girls over there.
Yeah.
But
okay.
what else? What are other notable things that we can talk about and speak to? Brandy can't even focus now because she's just staring at the baby.
I know. Well, we're dealing with baby acne now.
Yeah,
that's one thing.
that's the thing.
Well, I don't know that we're dealing with it. It just is what it is. But
Yeah, it's just.
I don't remember the other girls having it this bad though.
I don't remember.
But
I
she
remember.
hates baths, so
That's
I
right.
don't bathe her as much as I probably should. Just being honest, like I wish I could say I bathe her every single day, but she freaks out every time.
Yeah, I don't get that.
So I just do it when I need to.
Maybe we need to try another
Basically.
little bath thing.
I think we might need a new bath. I don't
What
know.
sucks about the baby stuff is like you got to try things. Like
I know. It gets
you buy-
expensive too. Like
I went into this being like the minimalist, like, yeah, we don't need nothing. The baby's gonna be fine. We need this, and this, and that's it. Here we are with like all this crap. There's still Amazon boxes showing up every day. Like, what is this? What is that? Well, I bought this other Swaddler to try. I bought this thing. I'm like, oh my god. But it's not wrong.
It's
like
yeah,
we
you
got
don't have
to go through it and try it.
She
and find
needs
what
to
works.
bathe. So I've even tried taking a bath with her.
Not
It doesn't
happening.
work.
Yeah.
So I don't know if she doesn't like her little bathtub or if she just doesn't like the bath in general, or if maybe we need to get a little baby bath where water can sit in it. So she's like semi-submerged in water a
That
little
freaks
bit.
me. You know how I feel about babies
Well,
in water.
I'm not going to, yeah, but I mean.
I'm gonna hover over you like you hover over me. She's like, that pacifier. I'm like, Randy, put a pacifier in this baby's mouth. Oh my god, it's funny. You weren't like that with the other ones.
I feel like I get progressively crazier as I have more babies. Like with Kendall, I was way more like protective. Like I don't know what it was with Cameron. I feel like I was way chiller with my first baby, and with Kendall, I was less chill, and now I'm even less chill. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's just I'm older, so I'm more aware of things that can
Go wrong.
Not to be negative, but I'm just more aware of, like, I was 24 when we had Cameron, so I was maybe still in La La Land that like everything would be, and everything was fine, everything was great, and everything's always fine. But I don't know.
I wonder how much of that is because you're at home with them 24/7 now.
Versus,
Whereas like Cameron would
Maybe.
like come to the shop and hang out with
Yeah,
us.
Cameron
and
probably
like,
spent more time with you guys than she did. I mean, because I was working so much.
yeah.
yeah, like you just weren't
Yeah.
around.
Well, yeah, you were working
Constantly.
and then she
Yeah.
she was at daycare after
Yeah.
once we finally
My
got her.
sister
into-
watched her for about 10 months.
and Emily, Asen.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah, she watched her for a little while. So yeah, I don't know.
So yeah, I mean, we were just forced to work on it. We were freaking broke.
Yeah.
Like we were so broke.
And with Kendall, I took a little more time off, like, because I wanted to breastfeed her. Because with Cameron, I couldn't. I mean, I probably could have if I would have had more help figuring it out. But I just didn't know what I was doing, and I just gave up pretty quickly with her. Which is fine. I mean, it turned out
Yeah,
it was fine. Like, I'm not against formula feeding at all. It was just I wanted to know that I could breastfeed if I, that's why I did it with Kendall. But anyway, so.
Yeah, you
Where was
spent
I going with that?
You spent
Oh, so
more
I
time.
took more time off with Kendall because I wanted to make sure I could breastfeed her before I went back to work, and that I'd be able to pump and all that stuff. So I took like an extra month off to make sure I was able to do that, and so
Yeah.
but I
And
still had to go
now
back to
you
work.
just spend all the time with her,
I
and you're
know.
like,
Yeah,
I won't call you crazy because I don't think you're crazy.
I don't know, maybe a little bit.
She's starting to let the spiders out. You know what they say about spiders? You know what? I didn't tell a dang dad joke. This has nothing to do with a dad joke, but
Okay. I don't know anything about the spiders.
so, you know, it's like saying that guys always say about girls. Where it's just like all women have spiders that they let out at some point, like being the crazies. Like,
oh, well, like how
letting
cool
the
I was
spiders out.
pregnant with Cameron, like totally chill,
Yeah.
the best pregnant lady ever. And then
yeah.
this past one, I was like,
You were not though. You've always been awesome. Like maybe you have moments, but you've as you know, maybe a lot of people listening don't know that story, and I've told that story before, but how you got pregnant like months after we started dating. So it was like we were very new couple having a baby. So you were like
I was
in
on
this,
my best behavior. I was like so chill.
Yeah, she's like, I better be cool. This dude's gonna leave. But it's really cool how it's all worked out. It's been great,
Yeah.
and
You can laugh about it now.
yeah, for sure. But no, I wouldn't say you're crazy. You're just maybe a little more needy, you know, or less afraid to demand some things.
I think that's what
I need this. Get me that.
Yeah, but you do it, so you've kind of spoiled me. So you just kind of.
I mean,
You
I'm
know.
awesome. What can I say? You know. Oh goodness. Yeah. I forgot, Trav, that you were at the shop with Cameron as much.
Cameron, yeah.
Like you've really been around for their lives a lot. Probably a little bit less with Kendall.
Yeah, not as much with Kendall, but for Cameron, I mean, it was like
Yeah.
I was
Day
at
one.
the hospital when you had
that's
her.
right.
Like
Yeah, you were.
she would sit. We had that little desk clamp chair
Oh,
thing.
yeah, that
yeah.
was
She
so
would
cute.
sit next to me in the front office at the shop, and
Yeah.
she and I would just hang out with Zuri, and it was like Zuri, me, and Cameron in the office.
I forgot.
Oh,
Yeah.
so
Uncle
cute, yeah.
T-Dog's was really close with Cameron in those early years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you were in Charleston when Kendall was born, I
Kendall-
think.
Yeah. So then I went back to Charleston.
You'd
So I
see
was
her every
going.
once. That's probably why every time she comes around you, like you guys don't have the same relationship that Cameron has.
Not even
And she
close.
like comes, Kendall just comes in, she kicks Travis and she's like,
You're
mean.
Yeah.
Travis
Yeah.
is like, you just came in here and kicked me.
Yeah, right.
What are you talking about?
I don't put up with that crap, so I give it back to her, and
Yeah.
then that's
She
why
does
she.
not like, yeah.
No, she doesn't like it. But yeah, like Cameron and I have always been like just super close because I've always just been right
Been there. Yeah,
It's like,
always.
You know,
Yeah, I forgot.
she's the closest niece or nephew of anybody. You know, like she's the one I've seen the most. Like all of Matt's kids. I mean, I see them at
once a
holidays.
year, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's it. You know, so it's like I barely know them.
Yeah,
But it's like I feel like Cameron's like my little buddy.
for sure. Yeah.
Aw.
And then when Kendall comes in and kicks him and says you're mean, Travis is like, I'll show you mean. You don't know what mean is. Come here.
Yeah. She
And then she
runs
starts
away.
like running away or crying and be like, Uncle Travis is mean.
Yeah.
I'm like, you just started it.
Yeah.
Get out of here with that
Yeah,
nonsense.
she's.
She hasn't done it in a while.
So funny
Yeah.
though.
I'll give you something to cry about. That's my style.
It was funny. We were at a birthday party recently, Nadia's, and Max was telling Marco, he said I'm trying to remember what they were drinking, but it was something spicy, or they were eating. I think it was Low Country Boil. Zach had put a bunch of spicy herbs and whatever in the, and Max said it was like pretty spicy, and Johnny was talking about how spicy it was. He's like, "Here, eat this. It'll put some hair on your chest." And Marco's like 10 or something.
Yeah, he's.
It was so funny because like, so where's Max from? Where are they from again?
Serbia.
Serbia, right? So he's got this accent. So you hear this guy with this, and he's probably what, 60,
He's
Rough-
older than Nadia, so yeah,
roughly
60s.
somewhere in there,
Yeah.
right? And he's like this, old Serbian guy who's like, "This will put some hair on your chest." It's like this funny accent, just like this old guy telling this young kid, just
Yeah.
like things that you don't hear much anymore. Is really fun. I died laughing. It's so funny.
Yeah, it's funny.
Johnny and I both lost it. It was pretty funny. Yeah, she's perfectly happy with you. You know what's funny is last night, or maybe it was the night before, and it's the same thing with the other kids. Like in certain lights, their hair looks like it has a lot of red undertones.
Yeah,
Like,
she does have red undertones.
and you're just like, oh, she's gonna be a
outside.
ginger, and then they're totally not. Cameron sometimes has some red in her
They
hair.
both have like a strawberry undertone. Cameron's hair definitely has a little more red in it than Kendall's. So I'm curious to see.
She had so much hair, and that's the thing that all the nurses like. Look at all that hair. She's got more hair than I do.
Well, they said typically they don't see this much hair with light colored hair. Like with darker hair, they do. which I never knew that. Makes sense though. Like my sister was born with jet black hair and had probably more hair than
So was
Hannah.
Kendall.
Kendall didn't have
Which one of them had really dark hair and then it all fell out?
Kendall,
That's
but
what I
her
thought.
she didn't have nearly as much hair.
No,
as Hannah
not as
did,
much, but she had dark
but
hair.
she still had a good amount of hair. But like I was born bleach blonde and like had I was like bald, I think.
Yeah.
So I guess that makes sense. I never knew that about. And I don't know if that's
Do you
just a
believe
generalization.
Do you believe the old wives' tale about the heartburn and the hair? No.
I mean, it makes sense I had very bad heartburn, and I don't remember having heartburn like that with either of the other two at all. So, and this time, like every time I ate, but I also had a tendency to eat and then lay right down, and you're not supposed to do that. So that might just be my fault, but I definitely had heartburn.
Yeah, all the nurses were like, "Man, look at that hair. She's got highlights, blah, 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 blah." Like, that's everyone's commented about her hair. She's got a lot of it. And now it's just like it's like up and crazy. Like, it won't lay down. It's just like this big poof on top of her head.
She's got good volume. She's lucky.
She's going to have that Jersey hair. Oh, man.
But yeah, she.
I bet if I held her
Good
right
baby.
now, she'd freak out.
Maybe not. She's sleeping-ish.
Yeah. All right. I guess that's it. Where's my dad joke thing? Let's read a dad joke real fast. What date do you want me to pick? Should I look for today? July. Let's see. Got my calendar out here. Some of these really suck. What's today? July 1st? God,
Oh, it
can
is.
you believe
Oh
it?
my gosh, yeah.
All right. I tried to date a tennis player once, but love meant nothing to her.
What?
I tried to date a tennis player once, but love meant nothing to her.
Love must be like a tennis term.
That's got to be a tennis. Like,
Okay, that's.
I like give the ball some
makes-
love. Like, I don't
I don't
I
know.
don't get it.
I don't
That's
know.
over
We
my
don't
head.
play tennis, so we don't know.
That's a pretty specific joke.
Yeah.
That is.
I've never heard. I don't know.
I'm throwing that one out. Let's try another one. What do we? You know what? By the time this goes out, it's July 4th will have just passed. Should we read July 4th?
Do that.
Let's do it.
It's a long one.
It's a weekend, so there's two jokes. There's a Saturday and a
Okay.
Sunday. So let's read them both. Here we go. A police officer caught two people playing with a car battery and fireworks. The officer charged one and let off the other one.
I get that one.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. All right, this one's a question and answer style. If superheroes started a baseball team, who would hit the most home runs?
Batman.
Oh,
Booyah.
Good job.
Well done.
You know, I
Wow.
can see through the paper.
Oh,
What a cheater. You shouldn't have said anything and just played it off like you were that awesome.
It makes sense, though. I would have said that anyway.
Batman. Da-na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na. One day I'm going to get this thing right into the front of the lens hood,
hood.
and it's just going to sit there. It'll be really funny. All right, that's all I got. I got nothing else. Anyone else got anything? I feel like I do this towards the end of every podcast, and then we get fired up about some other subject.
It was your birthday.
It was my birthday.
So, did you guys do anything good?
Yeah, we went on the boat. We took the baby out for the first time.
She did good.
She did good.
She
We
slept most of the time.
Yeah, she was pretty chill. Brandy didn't have as much fun as I did because she sort of sat on the boat most of the time with the baby. But I hope
Yeah.
you still had fun.
Yeah, it was so nice to be out.
We had a couple, another couple come out with us with their kids. So we had fun with the kids, and I was typically, just throwing the kids in the water and tossing them off the boat. And
I saw the video of them jumping off the little. I didn't know that there was something like that there.
yeah, the ledge on the edge of the marsh.
Has that always been there?
Yeah, when it gets low tide,
I've never
there's like
seen
a path
it.
through there.
That's so cool. I
And then
was
there's like a pluff
jealous.
mud
I was
pit.
like, I want to jump off that
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
next time.
Yeah, so it's like like a lot of places that have lakes and stuff, you can jump off rocks or whatever into the lake. But we've got the ocean and rivers and stuff, and at low tide, we have a massive tide change here, and especially during a full moon. And the moon was pretty full now, but there's probably a 9 or 10 foot tide change currently. So at low tide, you got a 10-foot drop off of this top of this marsh. Where
Yeah, it was cool. I've never
you
seen
walk
that.
through the marsh, and there's just like, at that time, I don't know, it's probably 6-foot drop, but like
Mhm.
dead low tide, it's a pretty big jump. Pretty cool. it's not there at all at high tide. You would have no idea. It's kind of cool that it comes and goes like that. And I'm sure it's changed over the years quite a bit, but it's cool to have those natural type of things.
Yeah.
All right, that's it for real this time. I got to wrap up because I got a meeting to go to soon. But guys, thanks for watching and listening. Check us out on YouTube. You know, we're doing some more videos there. The podcast has always been there. So if you care to watch these, or if you want to see Hannah, you know, sitting here sleeping during the podcast, check it on YouTube. Otherwise, follow us on all the other social media platforms for daily content. We would appreciate it. So make sure you like, subscribe, leave comments, ratings, reviews, all that kind of stuff. We appreciate it. And we'll see you in the next episode. Peace.